All right, we're going to welcome you back to the Principals Podcast, or as the guests would call us, the Doug and Doug Morning Show. This is Murray. I got Chaim over there. Mr. Chaim, how are you?
Great. How's everyone out there in our Chardon land?
I think things are going well. Today is Wednesday. It's an early edition of this podcast for a purpose. We're talking with the cast, crew, and numerous members of Radium Girls, not all of them. This group is currently in choir and they have a sub, so I was able to sub out them for this time. So it's exciting. Tonight is the dress rehearsal. You put a ton of time into this, and you have opening night Thursday. Friday's off because of the Friday night football. You probably are going to miss half of your entire cast because they're do 100 different things. Because all of you, minus Hunter in the background, all of you are pretty much involved in the band, and or a part of.
Not her. Not her.
Yeah, but
Who's Alex?
And then you have Saturday show and Sunday. We'll get to that momentarily. Today, we're talking with many of the members or the senior members of Radium Girls, which is a historical piece based in the 20s, a powerful piece, kind of an empowerment of women in a time where companies were not doing a lot of appropriate sanctioning of various things. And we had a bunch of people that stood up and try to make a change. So this is going to be historically presented on stage for dress rehearsal tonight. And with us today, we have many members of cast, crew, and they will tell you a little bit about every part of what they're up to because they're almost like a chameleon to their environment. We have Cease, Rogers, Johns, Mole, Fullerman, Massey, and of course, the Stefan of all hunters. So let's just kind of go round robin, beginning with Cease and then moving through the names in which I called. Tell us a little bit about Radium Girls and the work that you've put in for this show so far.
This show to me has been like really an eye-opener of just like what we've grown as a like world, like how it's so different how it used to be. I'm both part of cast and crew, so I get both sides of it, seeing how it is on stage and seeing how it is off stage. So it's been really cool to get everything like all together.
And Selah, obviously it's senior year. You love obviously being on theater work along with the marching band. Tell us a little bit about your role here in Radium Girls.
Yeah, so I'm Grace Fryer. I was blessed with the lead this time. So the Radium Girls show is really a lot about how, Grace has watched her friends get sick and die, and these girls are rotting from the inside out. And so it was really interesting playing this role because there's so much that goes into it, not only like verbally, but also physically and emotionally, and really tying all those pieces together. So this has definitely been my favorite role to date. These people that I'm working with are fantastic, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And I'm really looking forward to showing everyone this amazing person that lived 100 years ago.
That's awesome. Transitioning over to Charlotte, who's also a lot on the stage. She's obviously on the field, and she is a one-person crew for speech and debate who dominates the world. Charlotte, tell us a little bit about your role here.
Hey, Mary. So,
I was Doug.
My mistake. I play a lot of different roles in the cast of the show. I've been on cast and crew in the past, but really I'm finding the cast is my home. I think it's a really, really cool play because Chardon is pretty known for doing comedies. Obviously, last year our play was Puffs, and then we did The Addams Family. And those are really, really good shows, but they're based on humor. And I love that. I'm a comedian and everyone loves like the laughs and the jokes, but it is really interesting to put on a different kind of show because this show is so heavy. Like every scene, you don't watch a single scene without like it just sits on you. It is so much, but I think it's a really it's very contrasty to what we've done prior, which I think is very, very interesting.
That is awesome. I have witnessed decades of Chardon fall plays and spring musicals, and this is kind of going back to the original form of Chardon fall plays, which they were very suspenseful but great acting. They really focused on a story for several years because of COVID, pre-COVID, post-COVID. We had to be very creative and kind of be uplifting. And now you can kind of get back to a little bit more of your core with the fall, which is awesome. And I know that the spring is Into the Woods, which is a really well-known spring musical for high schools, which is something we'll do another show on in the spring. Mole, 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 otherwise known as Rudolph. Tell us a little bit about your role.
Hello, Douglas Murray of Douglas Murray fame. I play Irene Rudolph. I'm in cast, and I don't really have anything crazy sappy to say because they've already said anything I could possibly say. And my character is the first to go. So
Spoilers!
I'm on stage looking like a corpse, Charlotte.
Spoilers! Spoiling the show.
But
Not
yeah,
spoiling it at all. It's almost like we're watching improv in front of us. This is like Wednesday morning live version of Saturday Night Live. We can actually do a skit live here.
I think it's really fun. This year I have a lot of appreciation for the crews, especially M&C, because my costumes look really cool. So I don't think there's any crew members here other than Addison. And oh my gosh, Rebecca's here, guys. I forgot. So yeah, shout out to crew. Big fan of you guys. Yeah, that's it.
No, that's great. I think that I would concur with those in the room and Mr. Heim that you have a dynamic personality. It is very much enjoyable to be a part of. Going to go over to Fullerman with your 73rd podcast. Tell us a little bit about M&C.
So this play, we are focusing in like the 1920s, which is kind of a hard time period to costume. We like found like so many things, and then we'd be like, no, that's the 40s, 30s. So it was kind of like we really had to research. But, like, there's not many pictures from the 20s. Like a lot of it was like finding like movies from the 20s or something. And then like the makeup, especially like I have Addison and or like with Sayla and Alex also, like they're all like dying, so we have to like really like go heavy on like all the browns and green, like blacks and greens to make them look
like shadows and stuff. Yeah,
but like from the stage, like with the lights, like it's so different. Like in the audience, we really have to like we were using like the gray from the Addams Family to like really we were using like that to make them look dead.
Is it exposing too much into what people will see with talking about some of the special effects you do with makeup, or do you want them to see it live?
Well, it's in like the opening scenes that we do like a glow makeup, which is it's a little hard to use, but we do it, and it's like we have black lights, so it looks cool with that.
That's great. Behind you is Miss Massey. So tell us your role in the cast.
I play the sob sister. She's basically a reporter. And basically me and the other reporter, David, we take all these like crazy, like heavy situations, and we basically put them into news headlines, and we interview some of the characters. Like my character like interviews Sayla and Addison and Charlotte, and we basically just do news reporter things and are sometimes very insensitive to the situation.
Yep,
as news reporters.
As news reporters sometimes are, but
some changes.
Yeah, you got a point there. But it's been really fun because, like for me, this is really my first time like on stage, other than being in the ensemble of like the musicals. So it's been really fun to like learn how to like adapt to being more more prominent as opposed to being in the background like I was for the musicals.
Okay. Next to you is the only gentleman in the room, Mr. Evan. So tell us a little bit about your role with Radium Girls.
Yeah, sure, Mr. Murray. I play Edward Markley. I am the defense for the company responsible for these girls dying off. But, you know, I kind of got to play this like misogynistic lawyer who doesn't care. And I'm just trying to postpone the trial as long as possible just to wait for them to die off. So I can, and I'm very in this for the money because I'm a lawyer. I mean,
That's so morbid.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm doing my job.
Well, and I think that's a fact of the time, even with what Brianna
Yeah.
said about like
Definitely.
reporters making this like the situation seem lighter than it is. It's like the whole point of the show is that these girls aren't taken seriously by most. And so it makes their situation even like sadder because these girls are literally dying, but everyone's brushing it off like it's nothing.
Mhm.
So
I think there's a lot to be said reflecting that to like society now, even
Yeah.
like there's a lot of political statements that they're pretty like old, obviously it's set in the 20s, but I do think a lot of the morals and like the themes you could spin into like what like women go through now or companies are going through now.
like this happened 100 years ago, but this is still
Yep.
a problem today. And so I
Yeah,
think
we-
it's really important and impactful that we're having this show now because
Yeah.
there are lessons that can be learned that we can use today. So
Because we still see like certain situations from the show that are still in the time of now. So it's really cool to see it and learn it.
Like corporate America cover-ups, basically just kind of sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah.
yep.
And
We can't certainly have everybody on this podcast, but there are so many of your peers that are somewhere in the building or out of the building right now that we are going to certainly recognize when we see them in person during the show with our seeing them, and then after the show recognizing their work. And at the end of this podcast, you can give some shout outs for anyone you'd like, including those missing from today. We're going to transition to a theatrical class act here with Mr. Hyam.
Yeah, I have a few questions, but I really want to start with this. You know, oftentimes in the arts or in athletics, it's the star that's in front of everyone that everyone knows and hears about. But there's so much behind the scenes that makes this happen. What I'm kind of hearing from you guys is that it took the entire crew, everyone involved, to really put this on, maybe more so than any other performance. Can you guys talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I think everybody went into the show with Puffs being last year and that being so hectic and chaotic with how much went on. Everyone kind of went into this year thinking like, okay, this show's going to be a little bit easier. But then like as we're putting it together, like the acting is hard. There's so many lines. The costumes were difficult. Getting the set together, things kept falling apart. You know, like lights trying to deal with like the black light and making sure there's seclusions of light and like this was a lot more than we thought it was going to be. And I think that even over this past week, I mean, like things have finally pulled together at like the last moment. So
And I would say like last year with Puffs, like it was like a fun show. Like it was like really like so it was like fun, like just speaking in the back and throwing things around and like trying
Yes.
to like, get things on like as quick as possible.
This is not fun.
But like this is like sad. Like maybe
People are
like,
dying,
trying
right?
to make Addison look like she's dead is not necessarily fun, but like it looks cool.
It's just like seeing everyone work together and have great communication. Even like I'm like in my one scene, I'm like completely like decaying and like having help from both my MNC girl and lights and like everybody. Like it's honestly been so moving, just everyone working together and showing that we can as a society work together even with our differences, because there are a lot of challenges in the crew and cast, like making sure set pieces go on, making sure that it's right, not getting in the way, but we all pretty much respect each other, and it's been like such a great time just being with everyone.
So what do you guys think the overwhelming feeling is going to be from your audience when they walk out the door? How do you feel like they're going to feel? Do you think they're going to be upset of what happened? Do you think they're going to be sad? Do you think they're going to want to do something because like you know, some of the things that are going on in the world today and want to make a change? How do you think the audience is going to walk out after your performance?
It doesn't have a very happy ending at all. So they probably won't be coming out seeing oh man, it all worked out in the end. It didn't.
No.
So many girls died. It's not trying to sugarcoat it because this happened in real life. Like, this actually happened. And the difficult thing is you can't really just go out and do stuff about it. Like, businesses will still screw over their employees just because they care more about the money. Like, news reporters are still going to be up in your face because they want the story. And there's not a lot you can do about that. And I don't really know where I'm going with this, actually.
I think it's going to be, like, in my opinion, an eye-opener. I know from just seeing it from my experience, like, my eyes have been open to what is going to, like, happens in the world and what has changed. So I think a lot of the people in the audience will have a really, like, eye-opening experience.
And I also think that there's so many talented actors and a part of this show that I think this show really allows the showcasing of that talent. And so I definitely think that this will allow some people to be like, you'll see someone on stage that you didn't think could play that role. And it'll open you to like, oh, wow, that's really cool. I didn't know someone could do that, you know? So that as in like away from like the show part of it, of like the people that are part of it as well. So.
Well, I'll say I'm excited to come. I'm going to be there tomorrow night. So be excited to see what tomorrow night looks like. I have 3 things for you guys, and you don't all have to jump in, but I'm going to pose, you know, a couple things at you to kind of see where you guys are. The first thing is, if you could write your own play or musical, what topic would it be about, and what would be the feature music? So it's like, what would be the topic, and then what kind of music would you feature in there?
Oh no,
that's
you
hard.
can't just drop a question like that, man.
That's hard. You're putting all of us in the hot seat.
Because we're not the number one show out there for nothing, okay? We're the number one show. That's at Chardon High School. There's only one show, just in case anyone knew.
I think, like, for me at least, I would want to do, like, an eye-opening piece. I think, like, I've wanted to do that, and, like, even seeing, like, Radium Girls, like, it's just such an eye-opener. I think, like, an eye-opening piece would be something I would want to write or direct.
I agree. I think comedies are fun, but I think having something that's impactful that you walk away with like, wow, that was cool. I didn't know that kind of a thing. I feel like that's almost better than just a comedy coming away like that was funny, you know, like
So you guys use a lot of expressive words in your performance. I mean, that's kind of one of the hallmarks of performances. Describe your favorite taste or smell using expressive words.
Ooh.
Basement smell. Have you guys ever smelled a basement before? I'm fully serious about this. Like fresh paint.
Okay.
Kind of like the musty basement smell.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
like a new done basement or
I
like
don't
an old
follow.
one that's like falling apart.
Honestly, both. Because like the new one, it might have
Like
some
when you go
paint
into a
on it, but if
basement
it's
and, like,
old,
it's like all of the different, like,
I see.
smells. Like, you don't
Okay.
know.
Sorry, I think basement is a weird answer. I was gonna say like a nice like candle, like I like a lavender, or like a lily, a good perfume.
This is
She
a good,
said basement.
this is a good statement to the what's the word I'm looking for? The difference in cast
The diversity.
members. We have basement smell, and then we have candle and tea. So you know, it's just we have a lot of diversity is the word I'm looking for. Diversity,
We all get along.
and we all get along.
So the next one's the best one.
Okay.
So really, I want you to take a minute to think about this. Mr. Murray might jump in and give you a little wait time. If someone was going to write a book about Doug and Doug, what would be the title? And who would be the stars that would play Doug and Doug in that movie?
Oh my god.
I'd definitely be called D&D. I'm just
Or
saying.
Doug Squared.
Doug
Oh,
Squared.
Doug Squared.
I like
Doug Squared.
It's funny.
I think it would be about, if we're going with the Doug Squared thing, it could be about you guys in high school and your trials and tribulations as a nerd and a jock and having to come together and learn to put aside your differences to
I like that.
overtake the evil principal.
I like that. I like it.
Wow.
Who would
Who would
them?
play them?
Who would play them?
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
I'm thinking. Wait.
I
don't
think
know.
I think we know what Mr. Murray wants.
Mr. Clean for Douglas Murray.
No, he was thinking The Rock. He wanted to be The Rock.
Mr. Clean. That's so mean.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Murray, they talked about the nerd and the jock. I'm not like that's interesting. It's interesting.
Who's
I don't
the
know.
nerd?
I was pulling a 2.9 here at Chardon High School back in the day.
Yeah, we'll let you guys figure out who's the nerd and who's the jock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your
I'll
own
say
internal
that.
debate.
You guys can have a meeting later.
Yeah. I mean, one of you does have glasses, so take that into
Wow. Wow.
Bring to the operation.
We should have Mr. Long run like a fitness battle between you two.
I would love to watch that.
Here's the problem. We both have injuries that will not, allow us to show our true athletic ability.
So maybe you're both nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds.
That'll be the sequel.
So I'm excited. I think you guys are telling a great story that people need to hear, and I wish you guys luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. This has been great so far. Let's put a closure to it by giving shout outs. This is the opportunity for you to give anyone you'd like who's not present a shout out. It could be, a castmate or it could be family. Each of you have the opportunity to give a shout out to someone you'd like.
You ever say
Okay. Definitely Sophia. I don't know her last name. Sophia. We have. What's her last name?
Is it Fano? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sophia, though, she seemed so shy, but she's doing such a great job. And we have a scene together, and we have laughed through it so many times. But it's really fun, and I really enjoyed working with her. So.
Am I next?
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Alexis. She has taken the role of the props coordinator, and she has done an amazing job. It's like there's no seniors in props this year. Well, none that have been in it before. So just for her to take that role, and like she's done an amazing job. And like everyone this thing has done such a great job, and I'm so proud of everyone. You.
Oh, wait, but Rebecca's
You.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
we're not-
understand the system. I want to shout out Jen. She's my M&C girl, and Jen has been picking out my makeup and my costumes for like so many shows. Every show I've been in, she has picked me as her cast member, which I'm so honored. And Jen's just such a guy. She's such a babe, and I love working with her. And I'm hoping I get her for Into the Wizard. I love Jen.
All right, Hunter, your turn.
I'd like to thank TJ and like the whole stage because they do an amazing job. I mean, I was on stage last year for Adam's Family. I mean, these guys don't get enough credit because you can't have a show without building the set.
Mhm.
I mean, can't build buildings without workers. They don't get enough credit, but they do a heck of a job.
Love TJ.
I was gonna shout out Jen and Madison. They are the other crew coordinators from NC, and three of us have been working a lot together. Especially we have to like be there at 4, and our adult can't be there until later, so we kind of just like have to run the show for a while. And Madison's definitely been organizing a lot. We redid a lot of the MNC room, which like we started back in September, and we got like new stairs, we got new bins, and just keep everything organized and clean. And then I know Mia Goodwin also has been like helping a lot with that. And next year she'll I know that there won't be any problems because she'll be in charge. She'll do great.
I want to shout out the rest of the cast. Everybody's doing so good. We've got a lot of new faces, and everybody is doing so well. And of course, all the crews couldn't be possible without the crews.
Mhm.
But I want to give a special shout out to David, my reporter, my partner in crime. We share almost all of our scenes together, and it's been so fun trying to like figure out like our dynamic and how we want to like do these scenes and like present our news in the best way possible, but trying not to be too insensitive, but also trying to keep with the times. And it's been really fun.
I'd like to thank Lainey Mardula. She's been my MC girl for, I think, 2 years, maybe 3, and she's just consistently done such a nice job. She is so incredibly sweet and talented, and I love Lainey.
Yeah.
Mr. Heim, you have a shout out this week?
Well, I'm going to name drop Miss Patterson, hoping that maybe if I name drop her, I get a front row seat. So hopefully, I'm just throwing that out there, Miss Patterson.
The
front row
selfish shout out.
seat Thursday night. No, but serious. This time of year is when a lot of illness comes on. our students and staff, and it becomes very difficult sometimes to cover classes. So shout out to those staff members who are stepping up and trying to help out cover classes when we have teachers out. Appreciate that. Thank you.
I have two shout outs this week. One is kind of on behalf of the entire school, and that would be for the entire family of Jack Sawyer at Menor, who tragically lost his life to cancer. So we are going to be recognizing that entire Menor community on Friday with kind of our theme of having that yellow accent to our theme, so we can show how that empathy and compassion for that very difficult moment for the Menor community and the Sawyer family. And then I also want to give a shout out, blast from the past is Mr. Bandera, who will be watching this podcast and gives us feedback afterwards. So if anyone here want to give a shout out to Bandera, say hello to him, because he will be watching.
We love you, Bandy.
Bandy.
Yeah, Bandy, he's still at it.
Mr.
He might
Murray,
be a Twinsburg Tiger, but he's always a Chardon, thick and thin here forever. Anyway, we will see you. Dress rehearsal is tonight, Thursday, opening night. Friday, most of you will be at Friday Night Football, and then Saturday and Sunday, putting a capstone to this. We wish the best and continue to keep in our thoughts those who are battling any sort of illness right now, so that they can be at their best game, including Mr. Strife, who's been battling garbage in his sinuses for weeks now. So the rest of your cast and crew, the directors, can't wait to see you guys. To all of your families to supporting you, can't wait to see them. And as always, go Toppers. See you guys.
Go Toppers.
Bye.
Oh, that was like in harmony.
You're Kids, so
Oh,
Boom.
good.
boom, baby.